solidarity is stronger. And I just want to note that I just read that over 700 businesses chose to close today. Think about that. Give them a round of applause, all these local businesses who committed to solidarity today. And when today is over, let's commit to shopping at the businesses that stood with us and make sure they can make it through these tough times, because the silence from the corporations in this state is deafening. So let's spend our money at places that actually care about standing for our community. So how do we get here today? And why are we shutting things down? Well, it's because so many wonderful rapid response and mutual aid workers, they just decided everybody needs to come together. Everybody needs to learn how to pitch in, and today you're going to hear how. So first off, groups of Minnesotans put out an audacious call. Unions, faith groups, community organizations, immigrant rights groups, the queer community decided to say enough. And they came with shared demands. No work, no school, and no shopping on January 23rd. And look at this. Look at this. So let's do a quick reminder of the demands that we are asking of ourselves and of our neighbors. First, Minnesota and national companies must become Fourth Amendment businesses. Cease economic relations with ICE and refuse ICE entry or use their property for staging grounds. That is one. Two, not a single friggin' penny for funding for ICE in this congressional budget or any congressional budget, and human rights violations of Americans who are doing this to our neighbors. Stop fueling these White Walkers, period. The officer who killed Renee Good must be legally held accountable. Instead of going after peaceful protesters and politicians who have stood up for our state, we demand an investigation to the officer who murdered our neighbor. And most clear of all the chant we will say until we leave this building, ICE out of Minnesota now. So before we move on to our next speakers, let's lift up the 100 organizations who sponsored this event and made this happen. Which is the perfect lead-in to our next group of speakers, because over 20 unions and federations who bring hundreds of thousands of Minnesotans together have really made a difference. We know Minnesota, and one of the things that is so amazing about Minnesota history is our labor unions, right? They've strived to be at the forefront of this fight for workers' rights, democracy, racial and social justice, and immigrant rights, and right here I am a proud member of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. So that is why I am so excited to bring up the national presidents of 3 of the largest unions in the country. Please join me in welcoming, from the Service Employees International Union, April Verrett, from the American Federation of Teachers, Randy Weingarten, and from the Communications Workers of America, Claude Cummings. I have a mic. Here you go, Randy.
Oops, thank you, Liz. As I'm losing my glasses. So, do we want ICE out of Minnesota? Oh my God, I know this is a rally and it was cold outside, but do we want ice out of Minnesota? So I'm Randy Weingarten. I'm the president of the AFT, American Federation of Teachers, and I need to tell you that from coast to coast, 1.8 million members of the AFT are standing with Minnesota today. We are all Minnesota today. Our education unions from Minneapolis and St. Paul and Edmond, and here with me today were our leaders from Illinois and from Massachusetts. We are all Minnesota today. And as the faith leaders just said, look, at the very least, shouldn't schools and hospitals and churches be sacrosanct? What? And shouldn't the life of Renee Good, the life of 5-year-old Liam, the life of Shang Li Dao, shouldn't they be sacrosanct as well? As well as the countless number of immigrants who have come to Minnesota for a better life, who have come to America for a better life, just like my grandparents did. Donald Trump is using ICE to provoke violence in communities that have historically been welcoming and safe. And why? Why is he doing it? That too. To militarize American cities. It is state-sanctioned violence, no different from what Alabama did in Selma in the 60s. And this is not who we are. At Roosevelt High School, an educator was tackled and detained by federal agents using pepper spray near students and teachers. A teaching assistant, yeah, shame. A teaching assistant was driving his family when ICE agents threw a flashbang grenade that almost killed his baby. Children are terrified. Families are afraid to send their kids to schools. This is not about immigration. This is about intimidation. It's not about restoring law and order. It's about terrorizing communities that Donald Trump doesn't like. It's about stripping Americans of our constitutional rights to protest. It's about undermining the promise of America and our love for our neighbors. As people have said already, Minnesota is being invaded by our own federal government. But you, my friends, our beloved community, Minnesotans, are not standing by silently. And in this, first they came for us moment, Minnesotans acted because that's what's right. And because authoritarians don't stop with the most vulnerable or the people that have the least power. Authoritarians don't stop until they are stopped. So we who are not Minnesotans are standing with Minnesotans because today you and we are meeting ICE violence with nonviolence. We are meeting their chaos and cruelty with compassion and community. And let me say one more thing. Minnesota, Donald Trump, he misunderstood Minnesota nice. Minnesota nice is compassion. Minnesota nice is courage. Minnesota nice is about protecting our communities and loving our neighbors. That is who all you are. That is who all we are. Fighting for democracy, fighting for fairness, fighting for our neighbors, delivering food, doing all what other speakers have already said. That is our work today. Many days, our work is in schools and workplaces and shops. But today, our work is raising our voices and standing in solidarity peacefully and patriotically, embracing our neighbors and telling ICE they are not welcome here. That is our work today.
When we fight, when we fight, when we fight. Thank you. I'm Claude Cummings, International President of the Communication Workers of America, CWA. Thank you for having me here today, and thank all of you for having braving the cold and the government-backed ICE unleashed on your city streets to join together here and lift your voices as one. Well, whether here in Minneapolis or in Chicago, Charlotte, or Washington, D.C., we are all united when it comes to armed masked men in uniform abducting and harming people in the name of security. In the labor movement, we have a saying, an injury to one is an injury to all, and you here are the embodiment of that. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you, labor leaders, to the civil rights leaders, to the religious leaders, and to the community leaders here today. Thank you to my CWA family, including CWA District 7 Vice President Susan McAllister and CWA Local 7250 President Kieran Knudsen and his members. And thank you, all of you, the workers, the people who make this country run. Looking out over this crowd, I see many faces of the United States. I see the black, the brown, the white, and the indigenous. I see the LGBTQ plus and the disabled. I see those who were born here and those who came here for a better life. And I see us united in our values of fairness, justice, and freedom. But listen, those values are under attack now, like never before in this country. Not since the days of Jim Crow have we seen a government so determined to divide us, limit us, and silence us. But I believe in the power of working people to make a difference, even in the face of unchecked hate. Within the CWA family, we've had several encounters with ICE, including 2 of our union siblings who were abducted in the job in St. Cloud just an hour from here. Boo! Boo! A 3rd CWA member with our News Guild has also been taken. An attack on one is an attack on all of us, and we will not stop until our family is whole again. Know that CWA stands in solidarity with you, with workers, and with those who share our values. We stand in defiance of a wannabe dictator, and we will rise against the corporations and Trump's billionaire buddies quietly funding his campaign to shred the Constitution. Political scientists and historians tell us when countries have successfully prevented or reversed authoritarian control, unions have played an important role in stopping it. How do we do that? We stand shoulder to shoulder with our union siblings and with allies across the country. We do that when we join together and focus our attention directly on the corporations that enable fascism. Our unity across communities, organizations, and unions is our power. And whatever we do, we must do it together. Listen, we're in the same boat. And while none of us asked to be here, I can tell you about the looks on your faces and the organizing already happening here, that we will rise to this moment. History is calling on each of us to play our part for the future. That will take many different forms, but whatever you do, whether it's little or a lot, what matters is, instead of bowing down, you stood your ground. So Minneapolis, let me ask you, are we going to bow down? Are we going to bow down? Are we going to bow down? Then let's continue our fight. Our movement, one voice, one goal. When we fight, when we fight, when we fight, thank you.
Minnesota! Y'all can do a little bit better than that. Minnesota. Now that felt nice. I am April Verrett, and I am the proud international president of the SEIU. And if you are ready to choose love over hate, joy over terror, peace over chaos, right over wrong, then you are in the right place. Because, Minnesota family, we are here because something is happening in this country that demands our time, our attention, and our resistance. That's right. Thank you, sis. We are here because our communities are under attack. We are here because we know exactly what we must do in moments like this, don't we? We stand up and we fight back. Because across this country, our communities are being literally hunted, intimidated, punished, jailed, while our democracy is being dismantled. But here's the thing, friends. I know deep down in my soul that we are not without hope, and we are most certainly not without power. And look, I came here in this bitter, bitter cold, and y'all, this is a little goddamn ridiculous. I'm just gonna have to call a thing, like, this is not okay. But here's the thing, Minnesota. It might be bitterly cold, but today, you all brought the heat, Sean. You could just put that down. Because you all brought the heat. And so I just want to call a thing a thing. Because make no mistake about it, what we are seeing from this federal government is not about safety. It's not about law and order. It's about power. In Minnesota, you all know the truth about power, and you know the truth about Philando Castile. You know the truth about George Floyd. You know the truth about Renee Good, who only got shot and killed by an ICE agent for standing up for her Somali neighbors. Philando Castile, George Floyd, Renee Good, not isolated tragedies. They are connected. And we've seen this playbook before. America has a long, long history of using law to excuse brutality, to make injustice look official, orderly, and acceptable. The Ku Klux Klan, it was not just a group of violent extremists acting alone. No, no, no. The Ku Klux Klan was a part of an organized system of terror. And today, ICE is playing the same damn role. They may wear different uniforms, they may talk a different language, but a thing is a thing, it's the same damn thing. And whenever this country has reached a moment like this, when injustice becomes policy, something else happens too. The people will rise up. The people will rise up. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, but because the only alternative to rising up is surrender. And I don't think Minnesota is going to surrender. And I know my time is short and I'm going to start wrapping it up, but I want to say this. I've been to Selma, Alabama. I've stood on that bridge and I saw the through line from Selma to Memphis to Minneapolis. The fights are connected.
We are up against corruption and greed, racism and white supremacy. We are up against state-sanctioned violence. Y'all, this is our Selma. This is our Selma. And we must rise and we must organize. We must rise and we must organize. Listen. History tells us real change does not come from one single day of action, y'all. It comes when ordinary people decide to stay engaged when the cameras leave. So from here, we still organize. From here, we show up. From here, we participate. From here, we remember something essential. This country has never, ever moved forward because those in power, suddenly they get a conscience. No. This country moves forward because people like each and every one of you insist with peace, with persistence, and we insist peacefully and persistent together. We insist that this country of ours must and will do better. Family, if we stay organized, when we stay united, and when we keep our eyes and our arms wrapped around one another instead of keeping our hearts in fear, then history will record our moment, not just as a time of crisis, but as a turning point. A turning point, a moment when the people stood up, when working people claimed our God-given right and power to what is ours. A moment when this country began once again to bend towards justice. Family, that is where we must go from here. So let's go get it.
There it is. Now I think it's an important time to hear from some of the people who have been directly affected by ICE, because some of us have seen with our own eyes, some of us have experienced. So to help us all understand the devastating toll this is taking on our neighbors, I'm now going to bring up a few Minnesotans to share with you how they have been profoundly affected by this assault on our state. From the Brotex family, Alejandro Villagrana Ibarra, the engineer and Uber driver who roasted ICE in an airport like a boss, Ahmad Hassan, and the owner of El Burrito Mercado, Melissa Silva Diaz. Come on up!
My name is Alejandra Villagrana Ibarra. Some of you may have heard about the raid that happened in St. Paul at the Brotex company on November 18th. In that raid, my dad, Leonel Villagrana Flores, and my uncle, Isaías Villagrana Flores, were kidnapped. At 9 a.m., thugs from ICE, DEA, and HSI stormed the workplace and kidnapped 14 innocent, hardworking men and women, elders in our community. These were people who showed up every day to provide for their families. They were the pillars holding their families together. I can still hear the terror in my mom's voice when she called me that morning. I left work immediately, and I don't remember much after that. I didn't know who to call or what to do. This was very early on, before raids like this were happening regularly. so I didn't have anyone to reach out to for guidance or support. But I knew I had to do something. I didn't know about the ICE locator. I didn't know how to find a lawyer, what a bond was, or how to use money on books. I didn't even know how to schedule a 20-minute phone call to talk to my dad. I had to learn everything in real time while trying to keep my family together. My dad was held at Sherburne County Jail for 3 weeks. 3 weeks without coming home. 3 weeks without being beside my mom. He has never spent a single day away from our family in over 20 years. We even had to miss his favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. With the help of my attorney, we moved forward with the habeas corpus petition and a temporary restraining order. These legal steps prevented my dad from being moved, and eventually we won his release. My dad is now home with us, but freedom did not mean a return to normal life. He had to stop working. My mom and dad are home all the time now. They rarely leave the house. My dad used to work 2 jobs. He was always busy. Now being home while still processing what he went through, he has taken a mental toll on him. We see the sadness in both of my parents. In an instant, our life changed. We are incredibly grateful to our attorney, Robin Meyer Thompson, who fought tirelessly for my dad and my uncle. But I did not win both battles. I lost the battle for my uncle, Isaias. He signed a voluntary departure and is now in Mexico after ICE tortured him by withholding his diabetic medication. My dad saw his brother every single day at work. Now his brother, his best friend, is thousands of miles away. My cousins lost their father. My cousins will always remember when their father was taken from them. My brother and I will always remember the moment our lives split before and after. This is not something children forget. What hurts just as much is the silence. When people in power choose not to act, when they look away while families are being torn apart, the silence becomes part of the hurt. This is why we are saying it is time to get ICE out of Minnesota. They are not protecting the people of our state or our cities. We do not want this cruelty. We do not want this abuse. We want a future where our families are safe, where children are free of fear, and where our tax dollars are used to protect our communities. We continue to hold the families of Renee Nicole Good, 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos, and every family that has been harmed by this unjust system in our hearts.
Hello guys, how you doing? As many of you have seen my social media profile or video that went viral, I'm the Uber driver at the airport. That was kind of, I think ICE tried to intimidate and terrorize me in my daily work capacity, but I wasn't, because I noticed it quick. I'm a trucker, So I've been on the road. I've gone to every state in America. I've dealt with a lot of people. And I can see when somebody is trying to do something negative to me real quick. I'm very aware and alert. So when ICE came, and I called the first lady that approached me, Nazi Barbie. She calls herself Alpha 4. I call her Nazi Barbie because she came in there like a robot and just knocked on my window and was like, "Can I get your ID? I need your proof of citizenship." And I was just chilling, and I'm like, "What the hell? Where did you come from?" And she's like, "Well, I'm U.S. Border Patrol." I said, "Border Patrol? I don't think I'm driving a semi. I don't think I'm at the border. So I'm in a parking lot. You must be parking lot attendant or parking lot patrol or something, you know?" And she was like, "Hey, I'm Border Patrol, and I got two guys in the back running your plate. So either way, you give me your driver's license or I'm going to get your identity anyways." She didn't know that was a rental, so she couldn't get anything. So she got even madder, and now the big boss, I call him Napoleon Ice, Bovino. You know, he came, and he's like, "Well, are you an illegal alien?" I'm like, "Illegal alien? Is there a legal alien?" So either way, I toyed with him a little bit, and I was like, "I feel like I'm from another planet. Maybe we should do some blood tests and see if I'm an alien or a human, you know?" Because he's supposed to be like 30 years in the force as a Border Patrol official, and his unprofessionalism just left me no choice but to start toying with him. Because how do you just approach somebody at work and be like, "Proof of citizenship"? I'm like, "What? You probably need my parking receipt or something, you know, not citizenship, you know?" Either way, guys, this is, at the core of this is hatred, it's division, it's destabilization, it's misinformation, and it's evil to the core. So what we need to do is what we're doing today. We got to keep doing this until all of this terror just leaves and hopefully disappears from the whole globe, because if they leave Minnesota and we kick them out, they hopefully don't go to another state, because there's humans just like us that live there. So this white supremacy nonsense should not be tolerated anywhere. And to the families that have suffered, like the family of Renee Nicole Good, from the bottom of my heart, we appreciate you and we love you as Somalians. So thank you, Minnesota.
My name is Melissa Silva. I'm CEO and co-family owner of El Burrito Mercado, we are a unique family-owned restaurant and marketplace. Our business began in 1979 when our parents, entrepreneurial immigrants from Mexico, built El Burrito Mercado in St. Paul. Like so many immigrant parents, they wanted one simple thing for their children: a better life. To build that life, they made sacrifices, worked tirelessly, and never lost faith. Today, we are proud to be a third-generation, all-family-owned business. And we live our parents' legacy by providing Mexicanos and Latinos a taste of home and what Minnesotans across the state have come to love: the flavors and the joy of la cultura mexicana. We are not outsiders. We are contributors to Minnesota's economy and culture. Since the founding of this country, it was the immigrant that broke the soil. Time and again, immigrants have helped build and elevate America toward its highest ideals. That is why it is so hard to understand how a country that depends on entrepreneurs like us is targeting the very people who built and continue to build that economy and culture. What we are living through is not only injustice and violence against humanity, it is deliberate economic violence. All small businesses are suffering across Minnesota. Raids, chaos in our streets, and insecurity are not only targeting the so-called criminals, it's tormenting my family, our communities, our staff, and keeping our customers away. Every business executive must ask, what are members of the U.S. Senate doing to repair the damage the federal government has created? Small businesses need support recovering from this economic violence, and most importantly, the U.S. Senate must rein in ICE, pass oversight guardrails as they continue negotiating the budget, and ensure ICE does not get more funding. They cannot get more funding. But you know what else is really concerning? The silence. The silence of leaders and corporation executives benefiting from immigrant labors, yet stay quiet while business communities and families are harmed. That silence is part of the violence. And this violence must stop. We are calling on our leaders, our allies, and corporations to stand with us, to stand up for us, and to use their voices. We demand that ICE immediately leave Minnesota so families and small businesses like ours can get back to what we have always done: running our business, creating jobs, and contributing to the economy. Small businesses make this country strong. Immigrant businesses make this country great.
So how about a hand for these fantastic storytellers? I want to bring everybody up, and as I do, I want to bring up, now is the time that we're going to get to know the people who have organized us, the people who are organizing for these folks, and help explain how you can further get involved. So please, without further ado, let's bring everybody up. Come on, let's get these moving people up. Let's go, here we go. To tell us about Monarca's Rapid Response and Neighborhood Observer Training's Executive Director of UNIDOS, which created the Monarca program, Emilia Gonzalez Avalos. To share resources for legal help from Copal Immigrant Defense Network line, Edwin Torres. To help set up neighborhood signals with Whipple Watch, we've got Kai, and from Defense 612, we've got Flannery. Hey, y'all. And to explain the corporate accountability toolkits from MIRAC is Mira Atobel Resendez. I don't remember who's speaking first.
Hello, Minnesotans. We know that people are tired and that you are staying because you're being nice. We know that. If you look around throughout the day, we know that there's a lot of people missing. And that's the immigrants and refugees that are scared to come out of their homes right now. So we're going to address them at home. A nuestras familias inmigrantes. Somos de raíz profunda. Y sueños sin límites. Nos quieren enterrar, pero no saben que somos semillas.
Nosotros estamos acá para hablar directamente a nuestra comunidad. Somos nosotros que estamos construyendo las líneas de defensa para proteger a nuestros queridos, Somos nosotros los que le estamos dando comida. Y gracias a todos ustedes que están hoy presentes en esta noche. Pero no se olviden, nosotros no nos vamos de aquí. Y gracias for all of you for standing together for our immigrant brothers and sisters.
In a nation built by working families, it is a moral failure that the wealthy few grow richer by turning fear into profit and family separation into a multi-billion-dollar industry, while communities are torn apart, surveilled, and terrorized. They got it SNAP and other lifelines so the greedy few could bankroll mass deportations, choosing profit over working families without shame. So we're not going to leave here until they hear this message. We know what you're doing, and Minnesotans are not taking it.
My name is Mira. I am a member of the Minnesota Immigrant Rights Action Committee. We've been around since 2006, fighting for legalization for all and an end to all deportations, and that fight has not come to a stop. If anything, it has kept snowballing and snowballing to get bigger and bigger, and it has accumulated to this great march that brought us here today. I want to thank all of you who have stuck around to the bitter end here and give you an idea of some of the actions that you can continue to take. Our goal here is to hit the corporations and the politicians where it hurts the most, which is in their pockets. And so some actions that you can take right now and over the weekend to keep this fight going are to go to iceoutnowmn.com to let the big corporations in Minnesota know who did not close down what the people with consciousness today, that they are the ones who are in the wrong, and they are the ones who need to change what they are doing and their priorities. Because right now they are siding with the oppressor, they are siding with our enemy, who we all need to be united against in order to win. And it's not just the corporations that we need to be targeting, it's the politicians as well. I urge everybody here, every Minnesotan, to show up with Mirak on Monday at 5 p.m. at A.B. Klobuchar's office in downtown Minneapolis to tell her to vote against the $170 billion that they're trying to give to ICE in addition to what they already have to terrorize us. She has always voted for more militarization and funding to oppress immigrants, and it is time for her to wake up. On top of that, I just want to send out a message of solidarity to everybody who is in this struggle with us, everybody who is in the struggle for immigrant rights, that we need to have immigrants at the forefront, and we need to have working people at the forefront, and we need to come together, as Mirak has for the last 20 years, every single year, and make this year's May Day, International Workers' Day, the biggest and the best that it ever has been. Thank you.
Throughout the entire evening, you've seen two hotlines. Save them. The Monarca hotline and the Immigrant Defense Network hotline. Our hotlines are how we can help communities impacted. Share them, save them, and continue to help us save our communities.
Thank you, Minnesotans. ICE out! ICE out! ICE out! We are light. We are light. We are light. Let's continue to bring the light into the crisis and the atrocity. We are the light. We are light. We are light. Okay, let's go have dinner now.
All right. So all of those resources, by the way, you can get at iceoutnowmn.com. So please, please, please. We're wrapping it up, y'all, and we're wrapping it up with something super important. We had this massive rally here, and people funded this on their own. So if you want to pull out your phones and think about funding, can you say something? Yes, real quick. Come on. This is why we do this work. Hello. Yes. Would you like me to hold the mic, or would you like to hold the mic? Okay.
I would like to say a chant for peace. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with dice. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with dice. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with dice. I would like to do one more.
Okay.
Shingla la mingra. Wait. Do you guys remember it? Chinga la mingra. Chinga la mingra. Chinga la mingra. And
All right.
wait, do you think I said as Martin Luther King Jr. said, the time is always right to do what is right?
I think you have to say that.
One more thing, guys. Sorry to keep you waiting. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the time is always right to do what is right. So come out for one Minnesota. Peace for Renee Good.
Really quick, we didn't get your name.
Rion.
There we go, Rihanna, everybody! Thank you to everybody here today. We got to close it out so fast. Thank you so much, but literally, we can't do this for free, so please, please, please go to Ice Out Now, Minnesota. Make a donation so we can pay for this. Thank you so much. Keep fighting.
Make a brief announcement about a national boycott.
I don't know. No. You can't rush the stage and come up. Dude. Thanks, you guys. Keep out. See you out in the streets. See you in the everywheres. Bye-bye.